The largest glacier in the Italian Alps is found in Lombardy, in the Stelvio Park protected area. But in spite of its protected boundaries, the conservation of this tiny Arctic wilderness, set aside by the Lombardy region, cannot be achieved within the context of its confines. It is suffering, losing mass, shrinking irremediably because of a global process of climate change. Like some huge prehistoric dinosaur that cannot adapt, the Forni Glacier is slowly going extinct. In the summer of 2006, a group of people from a major company, inspired by the principles of a scientific mission and guided by a team of researchers, stepped onto the rough back of this giant to examine its health. Each member came away from this intense team experience with a new and heightened awareness. There is no such thing as an environment that may be considered remote, and whose defense is thus less urgent. The entire planet is a single interconnected ecosystem and has to be protected and maintained as a whole. The philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti said that social change is a secondary matter. It will come about naturally when human beings bring about change within themselves. We are standing on the largest glacier in the Italian Alps. We naturally begin to wonder how it formed, how it behaves, how it changes, and in today's evolving climate, how a glacier begins to collapse. This project is an outgrowth of the corporate social responsibility movement. Today's companies can no longer dedicate themselves exclusively to the pursuit of profit. They must now also take into account issues regarding their social policies and their impact on the environment. This expedition is a small but significant and concrete action taken by a group of people who deal with quite different matters during their everyday work life, but who all decided to participate in person as volunteers in this scientific project. Those of us at Janssen Schillag are oriented by the principles of our credo, which is the credo of Johnson & Johnson, the group to which we belong. We are a pharmaceutical company, and thus one of our core values is the protection of human health. This value finds expression in various ways. Our quest to improve the quality of life also extends to the protection and enhancement of the quality of our environment. And we are not just talking about that of our employees, but about the environment generally, the territory into which each of us is integrated. And this is the reason we chose to undertake this initiative, sending a group of 27 people, divided into 3 teams, to take turns carrying out field work in order to help protect a great natural asset such as our glaciers. 68.16. We are performing a series of specific glaciological measurements to assess the current conditions and dynamic evolution of the Forni Glacier, especially in these times of changing climate. The purpose of this research project is to provide a data set, collected and verified using strictly scientific methods under the guidance of a team of specialists, to be used both at the university level and in applied glaciological research.
When this project was presented to me, I immediately found it fascinating for its extraordinary capacity for mediating and promoting interaction between 2 very important fields: professional training and corporate social responsibility. And so we decided to invest in this project, above all for its scientific value and important purpose, one that embodies a genuine interest in environmental protection, and also because it brings us into play personally as actors, doing something positive and effective towards promoting the well-being of the territory and country in which we live.
del benessere dell'ambiente e del paese in cui viviamo. Da anni io mi occupo di sviluppo delle risorse
For years, I've been involved in human resource development, and hence in the development of technical and professional skills, and also values-based capabilities. Major companies, and I am part of one, are investing more and more in these two areas. On the one hand, in the development skills strongly associated with work processes, and thus with business, but on the other, in skills of a personal and values-based nature, which are known as soft skills. These are two goals that both can and must be achieved along parallel pathways, each enhancing the other. This expedition, which was certainly a powerful experience both in human and physical terms, inspired our people to put themselves on the line, to look inside themselves and make a sort of diagnosis of their own capabilities, not just in technical terms, but also and mainly in human terms. It was a time for us to think about these skills, figure out how to develop them further, exploit them, and use them to make ourselves more effective, both in our work and in our relationship with the environment in which we live.
There are different ways to exercise CSR, or corporate social responsibility. One very simple and easy way is what is known as social marketing. Here an enterprise promotes initiatives that have some social value, but that also have a direct impact on company returns. This was not our choice. We have chosen to support initiatives that have a social impact without having a direct return in terms of company performance or profits. I think it was a fantastic experience. I found it particularly wonderful to be out there with my co-workers and to share with them the values that I feel are of fundamental importance in a human being. In our work, the human factor is determining because it affects how things happen. No, to put it better, it makes totally unexpected things happen. Things happen out of nowhere that were unimaginable when we started. This particular aspect of the human factor, as a facilitator of results, came out in an extraordinary way in this experience. Confronted with a completely new and different environment, and with a difficult task, the people did not feel overwhelmed and give up. Instead, they immediately bonded and found ways to take action together, no doubt stimulated by the novelty of the new environment and its challenges. They were able to give their best as individuals, and thus as a group. We definitely feel that this has been a hugely successful experience, one that has reaffirmed and further strengthened the strong points that the group already had coming into it. Are people really affecting the climate? It's a big question mark, in my opinion. We are certainly carrying out a chemical experiment in a laboratory from which we have no exit. We are manipulating our atmosphere, and thus also the cryosphere, the world of ice, without really being able to understand what might happen. And if we just reflect on the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, it is clear that we should start thinking about the damage we are causing to our environment.